Hi, this is Doug and Monster Hubbit, and we're here to talk to you about impromptu speaking. Not rehearsed like this is, okay? He doesn't know how to do promptu speaking. That's not true, I do. But I'm really good at impromptu speaking, and I have a secret, and I'm gonna share you the secret. Share you the secret. First rule of impromptu speaking, use grammar. Sorry. Okay, so seriously, first of all, there's no such thing as a really impromptu speech because you have more prep time than you think. For example, you're in an audience of people, right? And this has happened to me. And somebody says, no, you're going to say a few words. Between the time you stand up and the time you get to the podium and stand in front of it and get the microphone adjusted, that's 30 seconds or a lot more, depending on where you're standing. Yes. Really, so there's a hunk of time there. And then, of course, if you're stalling, right, you can wait for the audience to be silent. That gives you another 10, 15 seconds. And so there's no such thing, even if somebody's next to you and says, hey, speak, the time it takes you to stand up, clear your throat, make sure people are there. So there is that hunk of time, and you just got to get your brain working there. But I have to tell you also, anticipation is a key if you want even more prep time on your impromptu speech. You just made air quotes with my head. There is, because if people are going around a table asked to talk about a topic, you know it's going to get to you. If people are toasting and it's like you have 4 brothers and each of your brothers got to do a toast, you know you're going to be called on. So your brain can be cheering them. So what to do with your time? The first thing you do, first priority, is write the ending, the very last line, okay? So for example, I just decided the last line of this video is, I think it sucked. Okay, well, fine. But the point is, just don't spend too much time on it. It's like, what's my last line to me? How do I want to end up? And if you do nothing else, then during your entire impromptu speech, you know where you're going with it, and it will look really polished because you wound up where you were supposed to. Second priority, assume you've written the end. Now in your mind, you're thinking of, this is in your minute and a half, think, how am I going to start it? If you can get that far, now you're walking in with an opening and a conclusion. All you have to do is fill in the blanks, and that's not hard. 3, so now assume that you have this impromptu speech and you've had enough time that you know how you're going to end, how you're going to do it at the beginning. If you want to make it look like really polished, and this is a gimmick, this is a trick. This is a trick. Tricks and tips without the tips. Okay. The whole 3 example thing. So if you have some opening and you know how you're going to end up, therefore pollution is bad, think of 3 reasons with that prep time. So now if you have the time, now you have a nice beginning, 3 examples or 3 points, which makes it really look like, how did he come up with on the cuff? And then the ending. I've won speech contests with this formula, folks. He has. He gave up the trophy because of like a lack of space, and he's regretted it ever since. Okay, so anyway, so there's that. And then now let's talk. So now you have the prep time. Now you know what to do with the prep time. Let's talk about the content. Content, number 1 thing, from the heart. Unless you absolutely can't avoid it, say something that you feel about, something, because it is easier to speak impromptu if it's about something you care about, okay? Like, for example, okay, I care about you, Monster Puppet. So if I had to talk about you like for an hour, I can, and he does, and his friends hate it. But if I was to talk about somebody else that I just didn't care about at all, like your dad, hey, then it would be awkward and difficult to talk about it. Okay. Number 2, be vulnerable. If you want an audience to really respond to you, be vulnerable. It's it's a human instinct, if you see a helpless little kitten, most human beings aren't going to want to kick it, right? You want to take care of things. So if you're open and vulnerable, people are just going to love you. And then the 3rd thing, now this is true for impromptu speaking, not necessarily for a rehearsed speech, is you gotta be yourself. Just, if you are a funny person, then allow yourself to make jokes. If you're not a funny person, then don't make jokes. Don't feel compelled to. You don't have enough luxury of prep time to overcome being unnatural. So whatever kind of person you are, just open up and be that way during your short speech. Okay. How about some tips? We did the tricks. Let's do the tips. Okay, fine. If you want your delivery to look polished, number one, never apologize. Hi, I'm sorry. This is going to suck because I didn't prepare anything because of this. Make excuse. That makes you look like crap because you're already telling the audience that they are schmucks if they like it. So no apologies. Never, ever apologize, especially not to start. Second, don't or ah. I'm very bad at this. I've probably said the word okay 100 times in this video. See, you don't want to do that. So what you train yourself to do is if you're normally going to go, just don't say anything. It's better. 3, speak confidently, and that's something you practice. You don't have to be confident to look confident. Okay, I am telling you, see, I just said the word okay. I am telling you right now that I am very good at football because I was a quarterback when I was in 8th grade, and I went out for wide receiver and they said, make him a halfback. And I was, you see, I was just BSing there, but I just tried to look as confident as I can. And then when you end, here's the way you can really look professional without looking like you're trying. After you're done and everybody applauds, ow, everybody applauds, introduce the next speaker. Thank you very much. Now if it's just the person who introduced you, if it's the MC, then you introduce the MC. But whoever is going to speak next, you be the one to introduce them. And now you've left and you're a rock star. That's really it, seriously. Learn these things. Okay, and will we be doing another video for them? I think so. Okay, see you next time. Bye. I think it sucked.